Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is NutRaisin. Let's do another study stream. And turn this down in my ear a little bit so I can concentrate on what I'm actually saying. And today it's gonna be less quiz heavy, if we have any quizzes at all. And what I want to do is basically look into how to play weakish, medium-strong hands pre-flop versus a 3-bet when we're the pre-flop aggressor. And yeah, I basically don't want to do quizzes too much today because I want to go through a bunch of hands relatively quickly. Let me put up the study spot. Done with that. Sorry about this short delay. Okay, and I clicked a few buttons, checked out a few things before the stream, and I already was shocked about various things. And I thought pre-flop, my pre-flop game was all right, which I think mostly it is. But nevertheless, I made some discoveries that are gonna lead to changes in my game, like right away, basically. So I'm gonna look at this whole thing. Oh, maybe I should say what I'm... Did I say what I want to do? Yeah, I did. And we're gonna look into this thing, how to play versus 3-bets pre in various spots, in position. No, I don't think we can look into in position. But multi-base, single, heads up, and various other situations. So what I set up now is that in early position we raise, we have a fold, and then the cutoff calls and the button raises, and it goes back to us. And that's the spot I chose for now. And I use some buckets here. So the buckets I selected to actually only have weakish, medium-strong hands in there would be a lot of hands that you certainly would, a lot of hands like single-suited or rainbow, 3 Broadway, one non-Broadway cards, 2 Broadway, 2 low connectors, 3 card rundowns and a Broadway, and single-suited connected ace-high Broadways are the buckets of my choice here. So let's add those to a filter. Hang on, why is this the way it is? I had a way smaller number here earlier. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, because I set it to 200 BP. Never mind. I'll get back to that in a moment. So let's do that. Set that up again. Perfect. So without any buckets to filter our preflop range, you can see we still fold 50%, a little more than 50% of our hands, and the rest is more or less evenly divided up between calling and re-raising. Re-raising mostly aces. Well, aces are on top. Let's see what else we re-raise out of curiosity. Those are all aces hands. We can probably filter this out and not have any aces hands in here. The dotted out card, by the way, is a queen. That's the only card that gets dotted out. It has to do with my setup. Also kind of interesting still, 5.5 3-betting frequencies. If we take kings out of this, does this make a lot of difference? See if that changes. Actually, no, it actually goes up. That's curious. So interesting, the 10s get re-raised. Like we're always talking if we have a suit here, obviously. But even if we... Okay, let's take out double suited ones. Where the fuck does it go up? And why doesn't that work? Alien, hey, welcome back. Man, you're always here for the study streams. Why in the world doesn't it take out double suited hands, or does it now? Fur, welcome back. Okay, so it does go up because... Okay, I think I get it. Just want to double check that... No, we do have double suited hands in here still. Why in the world is that not working? Should we exclamation point to exclude things? And then DS for... Oh, hang on. We need... I know. That's why. I think that's why. All right. Here you have it. So if we don't have aces and we don't have a double suited hand, there is no 3-betting going on here. Just on a tangent. I'm going off on a tangent here, basically. This is actually not what I wanted to look into. What I want to look into is weakish hands. As you can see here, there are basically only 2 categories of hands that we get to call. There's no re-raising here if we're using these selected buckets. Like, you know, a lot of hands that we raise pre, we are supposed to fold here. And that was actually sort of an eye-opener to me. That the, like, shit like the Ace-King 5-4. Let's get something better. Ace-Jack 9-8. Even suited to the ace is just 100% fold. I'll be honest, I called this quite a bit. Up until now. And what remains, what the hands that allow us to call, are basically 4 Broadway cards with an ace-high suit, I believe, pretty much always. Yeah. In its various combinations, Ace-King Jack 10, Ace-Queen Jack 10, Ace-King Queen Jack, all of these get called. And there is one different category, and that is basically like... You can see Ace-King Jack 10 also gets called. There's a little bit of mixing going on. I wouldn't put any emphasis on that. I would just keep calling 100% up until here. And it would just start ignoring these that are below 50%. So it's a very, very narrow range. And it's only 4 Broadway cards. And there's one outlier category, which I would assume the solver uses for mixing purposes. What's the word? It's not mixing. I couldn't come up with the term yesterday. Tide ranges from bind. Yeah, that's true. That's true, which is not necessarily true in the real world. They are so loose. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, we're still gonna be out of position 3 ways. We're not closing the action here. Maybe tide is right even in the micros here. That's an interesting discussion. Could be something for the Discord. In what way? That might be something to ask Kippery, frankly. In what way he would open up his ranges here and he would be calling. Seeing that what you say is definitely true, that we're not up against the tight GTO ranges here. But yeah, I mean, a really quick takeaway. We get to call with 4 Broadways. Like in a GTO environment. Obviously what first says definitely probably applies. It's an interesting topic of discussion. And the only outlier is the Ace-7-5-4 that gets called. Actually, let's go with that hand specifically. Ace-7-5-4s. And we want to exclude double suited. I think that should be the right filter, right? Right. Let's see. There's some combinations to solve folds. Actually, solve folds more combos than it calls. But I thought that was an interesting outlier. Anywho, let's apply the bucket back. Okay. So if we change the situation now to being 200 BB deep, we are using PLO 500 rake, by the way. We don't need to because we are not looking into post-flop stuff. Okay, let's change this to low stakes rake or micro stakes rake and see how that changes. I mean, it still assumes a GTO environment. It doesn't assume automatically now that we're low stakes that people are more call happy, which would be accurate representation of reality. But anywho, 3.3%. Need the buckets again. Oh, now it's very different if you assume microstakes rake. And it's basically only Broadway combinations. So it's only the Ace Queen Jack 10. Doesn't even go for the Ace King Queen Jack, Ace King Queen 10 hands. Interesting. So that makes it even clearer that now the outlier is being removed. So you need 4 Broadway cards. to continue in this situation. Anywho, let's go back to PLO 500 hands and use 200 BB, so we're now deep effectively against at least one player. And see how that changes things. We had 3.6% earlier that we get to call, I believe. And now it's a good deal wider, our range. Jack 10-9 is now in there. Just over just loves. And 10-9s are in there. And even King 10-9s, Ace 10-9s, King 10-9. Even with a gap, with an additional gap gets called once we get deep. 8-7-6 with an ace. Let's see what else. Razam, hey, welcome back to the channel. Depressed Dog, also welcome back. I said in the beginning, today less with the quizzes and everything, more a general approach and checking a lot of hands relatively quickly, hence very little or no quizzes today. What this is basically a starter session I would do on my own that I decided to stream. So yeah, bit wider range, basically a Broadway card and 3 one-gapped or very connected cards. Even the Ace 5-4-3 gets called, which is kind of interesting. 5-4, 5-4, 6-7-6-5. Not playing leaderboards? No, because I am not gonna be on the computer on Saturday, and so since these leaderboards are not daily, they're a week long, I decided from the get-go that it's not gonna make a ton of sense for me to go for the leaderboard. I won't be able to next week either, because I'll be DJing at my brother's on Friday. So no, not going for the leaderboards, unless they switch them up to dailies again. Check 9, Q10, 9, 7, those we had. Yeah, so basically what gets added into the range here is the Ace Jack 10 9, the King 10 9 7. I didn't see like a King Queen. Let's see, do we have any King Queen hands here that don't have an ace and are not double suited? I think that is the right syntax for that. Oh yeah, and don't have a pair. Hang on. That would be exclamation point RR. The King Queen Jack 10. Okay, I didn't see that one in the list earlier. Yeah, and hence like Ace 7 5 4, Ace 6 5 4, Ace 5 4 3. Interestingly enough, not something like Ace 9 8 7. I didn't see that. At least not at a high frequency. Maybe it was a little lower down the list. No. And that is probably because the button who 3-bet us in this scenario, or even the cutoff who called, are gonna have a lot of wraps, like a lot of medium high-ish wraps that just gonna dominate us, because there's, especially the buttons range consists of a lot of double suited rundown type hands, not wraps, rundown, sorry. So aces with 3 perfectly connected cards, as if the cards are higher, don't make the cut. I also find it kind of interesting. Hang on, we are now at 200 BB. Maybe I want to switch that back. I'll just copy that here. Switch it back to 100 BB. Yeah. I mean, if it's not at 200 BB, it's not going to show up at 100 BB, but I just wanted to switch that back. Let's see where this starts. 876. Nope. And it's gonna be the 7. So 7 high, basically. 7 high down to 5 high side cards, I believe. Probably not gonna be the 4-3 deuce. 3 deuce is not a combination you want to hold in a 3-bet pot for the most part, especially if you're not double suited. Let's take the double suited out for just a second here. Doesn't change a thing. Okay. So that is kind of interesting that the highs, 3-card rundowns are not in there. Starts at a 7 high. Oh. With all of these 7 highs, we also have the wheel that we can make. I think it's probably also a factor. And being one of the lowest rates, like the button is probably the button is not gonna squeeze a 6-5-4-3 double suited. At least it shouldn't. Which is why we are more comfortable calling with the low rundowns, 3-card rundowns on the side, I would assume. Okay, so that's that. Let's change the situation up a little bit. Let's stick to the PLO 500 rake, I guess. Which makes sense to me. It probably makes sense to a lot of players that play on Runner once. We just get such a lot of rake back that we are effectively playing in an environment that is not as highly raked as the micros usually are. So maybe there's some sense in using PLO 500 as an underlying assumption here. Let's give us a little bit of different ranges in play. It's a pity we can't work with limpers here. Let's raise pot here. Have this guy call and have this guy raise. Fold, and here we are, and download this. So 3.3% is what we had with our chosen buckets that we get to call with here. Let's see how much that changes. Ooh, that changes quite a bit. So the 3-betting we can ignore. 5% here, that's just not going to be a factor for us. Let's see what hands get added into the mix now. Oh, I'm assuming. I'm just assuming that depressed talk. I have no information one way or another about this, but I think so. I think so. Just the fact that I did away with the leaderboards and then tried it again. And I think traffic has been up a little bit since they did. I'm just assuming that they are going to have leaderboards again next week. So now the Jack 10-9 gets added in there, besides all the 4 Broadway hands. 4 Broadway card hands. So even the ace 5 4 deuce now. Okay, probably not the 3 deuce. The king 6 5 4. Okay, that's noteworthy. 7 5 4. Those we've seen before. Ace 9 8 7. Wow, an ace queen 4 deuce even. Holy shit. Can the queen 5 6 4? Wow, are you shitting me? Wow. Right, it's marginal if you look at the EV here versus folding. Thanks, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. So basically, let me just scroll down here a little bit quicker. And I think the pattern emerges. And what the pattern seems to be, I just want to scroll down and see where the 100% frequency drops off. Hence the quick scrolling. Okay, interesting. So the hands that get it into is get it onto is basically 3 Broadway cards that we get to call with, and like a whatever card, basically. Like a ace, queen, jack, 7, I would assume is in there. Ace, queen, jack, 6 maybe is a better example, since the 6 is a complete dangler in that scenario. Ace, king, queen, or let's go with queen, jack, 6. Take out the double suited ones, I guess. Wait, you fold that one? Holy shit. Okay. Kind of a surprise. Okay, so it looks like the dangler needs to be related. Let's go with the 7, where the jack 7 can make ace straight at least. No. Now I'm starting to be confused a little bit. 16% doesn't really matter. Okay, let's go back to these buckets here. So the hand categories that I found interesting to get added on to our ranges are things like an ace and 3 connected cards, really low cards with a 400 deuce in there even. And here the EV is quite different from, like there is some, this is not all that marginal, this is a relatively profitable call versus folding, which would be minus 3.5 BB, and this, you know, we win versus folding on average almost 1.5 BB. So not as marginal as some of the others that get called. Similar hands with 3 perfectly connected hands and the king in there, cards and the king in there. King 6, 5, 4. And hands with 2 broadways and 2 low connectors. Ace queen 4, 3, ace king, ace queen 5, 4, I would assume. 3. So we do open up quite a bit compared to the ranges in play in the situation we looked at earlier, when we were in early position facing a late position squeeze. Okay. Let's see, what else can we set up? Oh, that's a handy button to have. Let's actually go for the same. Hang on, can I just close this and have it still in here? Nah, too bad. Let's check out the same thing for 2 BB stacks. I think it was this guy folding, us raising, this guy calling, and this guy raising. Yeah, I think that was the spot. So should see the same numbers now if we apply the buckets. Because I already set it to... Just want to make doubly sure that I have exactly the same spot set up as before. Yeah, okay. So, oh, sorry, that's the wrong button. That one is the one I wanted. So once we are 200 BB deep against at least one player, we get to call with half of our range here, basically. Get to call quite a bit wider. Okay. Let's see here. By the way, if you have suggestions and things to look into pre-flop today, especially multiplayer, let me know and I can set up the spot here probably. Because I haven't really mapped out this whole training session today. Just took an idea that I saw suggested in the chat and ran with it, i.e. playing in 3-bit pots pre. Okay. We can actually do a little bit of a quiz here for some spots. Let's go back to 100 BB. And go with the tight range and just take a quick look at all the hands we're... Well, no, we did that. That's not going to be all too interesting. But let's do a quiz for... Let's go with very, very loose ranges, I guess. Ah, you know what we could do? We could see how it changes when we close the action here. That might be interesting. So have us raise, have this guy re-raise, have the big blind cold call for whatever reason, and see what we're supposed to do now. On the button this time we're going to be calling, we're going to be closing the action, and we're going to be in position. You can already see there's not that much folding going on anymore. There's some funky... Oh, that's interesting. There's some funky 3-bets here. Maybe we just want to have like a general quiz for this. And we could actually make this one interactive, I guess. Like without any buckets for now. Just go through some random hands, basically. Just click through a bunch of them. So 6. Closing the action, not being suited to the ace. Here's a fold, alright. Triple suited has to be a fold as well. That looks like a call. Maybe that's one of those weird... Not weird, but maybe that's one of those 3-betting spots? No. Just calling. This one we've seen in another example. This is going to be a call here as well, I would assume. 3 broadways, probably a call as well, even with the dangler, question mark? No! Dangler makes all the difference. 3 broadways not suited to the ace. Suited to the, not even suited to the king here, probably a fold. Gonna be a call. Be a call as well, Jack 10. Let me know if you absolutely want to have a quiz here for these, but I think it might be more interesting to go through them relatively quickly, get like a broader view over these spots. Take 3 deuce. This is the formerly known as the bucket tool. It is now called the PLO Trainer, and it is part of the Mastermind. As long as it is in beta, if you're a Mastermind member, you get this one for free. Once this leaves beta, I believe it'll incur an extra charge. And if you want to check it out on Sunday, I'm going to be giving away a month of the Mastermind, thanks to the kind folks over at the Mastermind. Ace Jack 3 deuce. Folds. No, gets called. And it has to be the ace high suit. And the difference is... It's a reasonable difference here. It's a reasonable positive expectation. Okay. 10, 8, 6. Fold, I'd say. Queen 10, 7 is an interesting one. The 10 and the 7 have some connectivity. We're not suited to the king, but we still have a relatively high suit. Yeah, it will be. I don't know how much longer it will be in beta, frankly, but I expect for quite a while. I think they want to add a lot of... They have plans to add a lot of functionality, but I have no clue when it is going to leave beta. Let's see, do you guys think we're supposed to call here? No. Let's check this out for a different suit combination. Oh, what? We can do that right here, can't we? Take a moment, apparently. Yeah, double suited. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're suited to the king, basically, there's calling going on. Still very much mixed. Yeah, once we're not suited to the king, there's no mixing going on. There's just folding going on, I think, right? Yeah, okay. Call. Triple suited, 3 broadways. Probably a fold, yeah. And this is where it really pays to be disciplined and really lay those hands down. And I'm not claiming that I always manage to do that, which is frankly why I'm doing this. Queen 5 4 3. From what we've seen earlier, this might actually be a call. One of those that surprised me a little bit. Yeah. I wouldn't even have opened this? We're the button, right? On the button, would I open the queen 5-4-3? No. So that's a new one to me. Calling this one, that's gonna be a call. Queen Jack 6-4. Also wouldn't have opened this one. Also interesting, just in that regard already. Has to be a fold, right? King 4 deuce, gonna be a call. Now that... Okay, now that one's interesting as well. The queen 5-4... What was it? Hang on. Queen 5-4-3 is a call. Queen 7-5-4. Okay, there's a gap in there. That's one thing. And also, I think the same thing from earlier applies, that there are gonna be double suited rundowns in the hands of our opponents. And there are gonna be somewhere, you know, they're gonna be between the 6 and the 10. They're gonna have a lot of cards between the 6 and the 10 in them. And with a hand like this, we're not doing too well against that. With the 5-4-3, we have a chance to draw two lower straights there where we're not gonna be dominated as often. I assume that that is the reasoning here. 6-5, gonna call. 3 broadways, but 3 suits. Gonna be a fold again, I would assume. Gonna be a fist pump call. Wonder if we get any of these weird raising hands in here. I mean, we don't have the range filtered at all via buckets. We're just showing up with 100% of the hands we raise on the button here right now, which is why there's not that much raising going on right now in the selection of hands the tool has selected for us. Call. Holy shit, I need to get on top of the nightbot situation that annoys the fuck out of me, that it's so spammy. Quite sure what to change though. Not triple suited and not suited to the ace. Just gonna be 100% fold. It's gonna be a fold as well. Suited to the ace makes all the difference here. Queen f7-5. Oh. What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave this up for a moment. Would you call? Would you fold? Do you think we should call, or do you think we should fold? If the underlying assumption with the thought that we're up against wraps a lot here is correct, then this has to be a fold, right? Yeah, okay. So I think that assumption is indeed correct. Fold. Oh. This one. That's true. So I guess we're learning how not to play too spewy. Vari is referencing a player we've encountered on GG Poker yesterday. Spewy for lifer, I think his nick was. If you find yourself on the table with this guy, don't fold too much, would be my advice. Try to get into spots with him. This to be a fold as well. Jesus was GTO. This is more of a general training today. The general idea is... Wait, where's my study spot? Oh, there you go, I didn't. It's basically how to play weak hands versus 3-bets pre. And right now the situation we have set up for this part is... We are the button. We open the button. The small blind raises, the big blind cold calls, and it's back to us. And what are we doing? Right now we don't have it filtered for any buckets, but I do want to, generally speaking, look into how to proceed with weak hands. And we've already seen some... Well, I've already seen some things in the beginning. That, for example, if under the gun, you open the ace, king, jack 5 single suited to the ace, and you have a late position caller and a late position 3-better, you're supposed to fold it. There's basically only 4 Broadway card hands that get called there. Was suggested by somebody in the Discord, and I'll be honest, that's something where I definitely overcalled, like the ace king, like that example, the ace king jack 5's perfectly single suited. I would have just called. I pretty much always called it. Turns out that is a big mistake. So explains that probably will have a direct impact on my win rate right there. And right now we don't have it filtered for anything, which I'm just going through some hands quickly without a quiz, so we can get a broader overview, so I can get a broader overview and understanding about these spots. We fold as well. Triple suited, we've seen it's going to be a fold. This one suited to the queen, 3 broadways, and the 8 might be a thing. What do you guys think? Would you call or would you fold? Again, we're on the button. This might be open. The small blind raises, big blind folds. Cold calls, and this back to us. We're assuming PLO 500 rake right now. I think it's still a fold, yeah. Also gonna be a fold. We need to be suited to the king here, I would assume. Let's bring up the suit variations, which takes a long time with this version. It used to be really snappy. Ah, okay, not that long. If we take out double suited again. No calling here, even if suited to the king. Okay. As well, call. Oh, hang on, damn it. Wish I could have gone back to that one. That might have been one of those raising spots. I go back manually? No. This is gonna be a call. We've just had that one. I think that's... No! Shit! Wait, did we just have that one? Hang on. Oh, it was King Jack 10-6. Okay, so holding the 7 here makes all the difference. The King Jack 10-6 even suited to the king is a fold. With the 10-7, allowing us to make more straights. Actually, we can, yeah, make a few more straights with that. Is going to be a call. And it's a profitable call at that, winning us 1 BB on average. Jack 6 has to be a fold then. Triple suited, but some connectivity here with the 8, but I would, if you want, put it in the chat if you would call a fold. What your opinion would be. From what I've seen, it's probably still a fold. I wonder if the better connectivity with the 8 makes some sort of difference here. Jesus was GTO, I would call. All right. Now let's see. I'll vote for the fold. It sometimes gets called. Apparently very, very marginal. So just saving ourselves the headache and the hassle here. Rip indeed. Every time somebody puts that in the chat, I like glance over like, oh, is my stream gone? But no. It's not the stream that's ripped. Yeah, just triple suited is where you're supposed to be really disciplined in a lot of these spots and just lay it down there, find opening hands. But even, and we are now in the, like this is the most, I would assume this is the most favorable spot for these hands since we are on the button. And the small blind 3-betting here, he's 3-bets with a fairly wide range as far as 3-betting ranges are concerned versus a button open. And we're even closing the action in the 3-bet pot, so we're getting an excellent price. But even then, we're supposed to be really disciplined. If we have even 3 Broadway cards and connectivity, as you saw, and are triple suited or not suited to the high card. And that's where I often get tempted at runtime, I'll be honest, where I go like, whatever, I'll call. The trouble is I think one of the troubles is with these hands, once you call and you start building a big pot, you know, there's going to be a lot of money in the middle at this point. And if you do flop a pair, a gutter into flush draw or whatever, you can still be easily dominated. And if it's just via the, you know, the same pair or a similar hand with a better flush draw, then you're going to hate life quite a lot. So you do want to draw to the nut flush in these situations. Because the same is true for the other 2 players in the pot, right? There's going to be a lot of money in the middle, and they're going to be intent on calling you as well. So you probably have a little less fold equity if you flop one of these, you know, one of these semi-decent draws or decent draws that are still possibly dominated. And let's see if the Jack 10-9 combo might be it might be an outlier. The solver loves the Jack 10. I'll leave this one up for a second. Put in the chat if you would fold or call. I am not certain with this one. I would probably call. Let's see if that's correct. Yeah, the Jack 10-9 combo makes all the difference here. One of the few exceptions to that rule. Like 3 Broadways and triple suited. Okay. And we have calm with the call as well. Let's go with the Ace Jack 10. So, no double suited ones, and yeah, no ace, no pairs basically. Queen Jack 10. Let's see how far we can go here. Do we have one for triple suited? Oh, we do. Perfect. We'll just go with that then. That is TS would be the syntax here. Let's go with that. Okay, that's a good start. And now go with the 9 here. This exact hand first. And the ones that get folded at 100% are the ones where we are not suited to the ace. Everything else gets called. Let's see where it starts to be a fold. Even so with the Jack 10 combo, Jack 10-8. The same, still viable, still a call. I'd say probably at the 7 it drops off, maybe. Yeah. So there's calling going on, but now it's starting to be very much mixed. So when triple suited and you have 3 Broadway cards, you wanna the only hands that get called, you know, excluding any pairs in there and all that shit. But if you have the Jack 10 combo and you have either the Jack 10-9 or Jack 10-8, that's pretty much it. Queen Jack 10, 4 Broadways. Let's check that one out. Or let's check out various 3 Broadway hands, I'd say. Okay, for these 4 Broadways we call. Again, we want to be suited to the ace, apparently. I mean, there's still calling going on. Hang on, that's not entirely true. Is it? Yeah, so there's, if you have 4 Broadway hands, there's still a fair amount of calling going on. Actually, I would just, looking at these percentages here in the header, I would just go with 100% call. Let's see if that changes if we change out the Broadway cards. Queen Jack 10, now that's probably, yeah, gonna get called even more. Okay, so 4 Broadway cards, triple suited, you get the call. Kind of interesting. And let's apply the bucket here where we have... the buckets I selected are, as you can see here, single suited or rainbow, 3 Broadway, 2 Broadway, 3 card rundowns and a Broadway card. And unpaired single suited connected ace-high Broadways. And there is a bunch of calling going on here as well. If we take out triple suited hands... That doesn't really change much. Let's actually have a little bit of a trade. Is there any significant 3-betting going on here? Not at all, not at all. Let's put a few hands up, go through a few hands. So it's a fold. Gonna be a fold as well. Has to be a fold as well. The 5 gives us the wheel draw, but I think it's still gonna be a fold. Yep. King Jack 10-7. No, that's still gonna be a call. Okay. It's not even close EV-wise here. As I said initially, this might not be the most interesting study stream for many of you. Not quite sure. But it's basically what I wanted to do on my own, and I just decided to put it on Twitch. And subsequently on YouTube, I guess. If you have anything you want to check out pre-flop today, let me know and we can do it pretty much right away. Maybe we can switch up some buckets. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let's go back to rather tight ranges for now. And say we are raising here. Have the widest 3-betting ranges. Yeah. This guy raised pot, have this guy fold, have this guy cold call and get it back to us at 100 BB, PLO 500 rake. And let's utilize some different buckets here. Let's go with these first. In a similar spot earlier, we saw we only get to call like 3% of our hands if we apply these buckets. Now, with slightly different ranges in play, and us closing the action, which we weren't in the previous example, we get to call quite a bit more. Let's see which ones we do get to call. Feels like a call. No, holy shit! No. No. That's the one again where we, like the ace 5-4-3 is probably going to be a call here, but we don't want to be showing up with hands that are easily dominated by other wraps, which are going to be making up a good part of our opponent's range here. Let's see, ace 5-4-3, and we don't want to beat those suited. I think that one's going to be a call, right? Yeah, with some mixing going on, but wait, why the fuck? Why the fuck is there such a huge GV difference here? I couldn't tell you, but I basically just wanted to figure out if we get to call with, if it's still true, if we have 3 lower cards, but not like in the medium high range here. So this one is a fold. Let's check 10-8. So if we get to call this triple suited, I think we get to call here as well. Holy shit, no. Let's see, that's a massive mistake to be calling. Oh. Fair enough. How about if you're suited to the jack? No, we want to be suited to the ace here. Okay. The 10-9-8, that has to be a call, yep. Interesting, it is a... Oh yeah, we're calling another pot size raise, so this is still profitable. I see. If we fold, we just lose the 3-point BB we already put in. If we call, it's still going to be profitable. Okay. Those numbers just confused me for a moment there. Has to be... No! Okay. Jack. Let's go with the 8 first. See if we get the call there, where the cutoff point is for this hand. Nope. So our 3 Broadway cards want to have connectivity to the last card here. Like a total dangler, it's just gonna be a fold, I would assume. Alright. Okay, but let's choose some different buckets then. Actually, no, let's continue with this for a few more hands and then switch up the spot to a tighter range again. 10 4 need to be a fold. And those are, frankly, those are interesting to me, because I would just call here. Closing the action. Wow, we need to be... Right, Alien Web, I think... I'm starting to... I gave an explanation earlier, and I'm going to repeat it, and I think it's starting to sound correct in my head, too. I believe the reason for why we're not supposed to be calling with a hand like Ace 8, 6, 5, or even Ace 8, 7, 6, I believe. Let me put it in there before I continue. Like, without a gap in there. Yeah, a little bit mixing going on, but, you know, just laying it down is not a mistake here. The reason is that the 3-betting range of our opponents, especially since our buckets right now have a bunch of Broadway cards, right? So we block aces and kings a little bit, making it a bit more likely that the 3-betting ranges or squeezing ranges of our opponents are gonna have a lot of rundowns in them, like double suited rundowns. And they, with a hand like, even with the Ace 8, 7, 6, like triple suited here, single suited, we are gonna be in rough shape on a lot of flops where we're just gonna be dominated by an opponent holding a better wrap, a better mate hand, and better backdoor equity by often holding a flush draw and a backdoor flush draw. Whereas with the 5-4-3, we get to make straights that are not always as easily dominated, because our opponent is not going to squeeze the 6-5-4-3 double suited there, or the 5-4-3 deuce double suited. So we cover a part of the board that our opponent is not going to cover as much, I think is the point here. Let me know if that makes sense to you. From what I've seen so far, from the hands that I've checked out, I believe with increasing certainty that is the main part, or that is the main reason. Because that confused me too. Holy shit, that's a horrible song. Oh. That's just gonna be called. That might be that might be one of those rating hands. Let's see. Do we have any here? I don't think we did. Range-wise, with our selected buckets. Yeah, just a call. It's Queen Jack 8. I'm gonna leave this up. Let you put an answer in the chat if you want. Probably, hang on, should probably put this over here so we don't have any quote-unquote, so we don't have any spoilers in the background there, basically. I'll be curious here. Like now I'm leaning towards fold from what I've seen so far. But maybe this one makes the cut. This one does make the cut. Okay. Let's see where the cut off is there. Ace, Queen, Jack 7 then? Yeah, okay. That is the exact cutoff. Once we have the 8 in there, you would call. Yeah, well done, Alien, as well. But it's important to note that this is right on the edge. If we make it a tiny bit weaker, we're supposed to let it go. Triple suited and D987 has to be a fold, probably. Yep. Triple suited, but 4 broadways. I think that one, from what we've seen, triple suited we are supposed to lay down a lot, but with 4 broadways, this is going to be a call, and so it is. Still a profitable one. Rather pretty profitable at that. Ace King 9-7. Again, these are hands I would always call. I think I'm starting to see that they need to be folded here. Yeah. This is going to save me some money in the future, I'm telling you. Definitely have to fold this then, yeah. It's Queen Jack 8. Well, we just had that. Wait, what? The fuck is going on now? This has to be some solver mixing going on here. Some solver voodoo. I mean, the other... I'll bring it over here so you can see it. You can? Yeah, you can. The other Ace Queen Jack and 8 hand, we didn't have the Queen of Spades. We had the Jack of Spades. Maybe the difference is that here... Like here, with this hand, with this suit combination, otherwise the exact same hand, we can dominate a Queen High Flush. In addition to a King High Flush. But it might just be solver voodoo. Let's ignore that for the most part. I mean, calling is still profitable. So yeah, solver voodoo, I think is the thing. Needs to be folded, easily dominated. Ace 10 5 4. I'm starting to see needs to be folded. This one probably needs to be folded. Holy shit, man! I would have called a lot of these hands up until now. I did call a lot of these hands. No would have involved. The 6 is not going to make the cut. You're going to need a... let's see with the Queen 10, actually. Okay, so we don't want to have a gap between the King and the Queen and the Queen and the next Broadway card here. At least not with another gap in there. Even the 10-9 is not going to be happy here. Worry. Hey, I'm satisfied in hearing that, because I kind of felt stupid doing a stream like this. But I'm glad you have the same takeaway as I. As me. Alien Web. No, and that's exactly what I've been thinking too. So the ones that get folded are ones that are easily dominated, like an Ace 9 7 8, even perfectly single suited. Dum Dum Baby, welcome back. If you're triple suited or not suited to the Ace, just fold it. Unless you have 4 Broadway cards, then you can call, then you get to call. One type of hand to solve a call here, Ace and 3 other connected cards, would be the Ace 5-4-3 for the reasons previously explained. That we are not going to be, we're going to flop some straight draws, some wheel draws that are not as easily dominated, because our opponent's going to have like medium high cards in his with the reps he shows up, like, you know, the 10-8, 7-6 double suited, the small blind is going to raise here all day long if we open on the button. Should probably put this away so we can see the study spot. So yeah, I would have thought so too, Alien. Turns out we need to be very disciplined, need to fold a lot here. Like this one, just need to fold it. This one, interesting. I'll leave it up and put an answer in the chat if you want. Jack 9. Given how the study session went, I think I'll be surprised either way. I mean, yeah, worry, me too, yeah, right? Little baby calling. Yeah, up until now. Call you all day long. Let's see. And that one is fine. Okay. Let's see where the solver pumps the brake with this hand. This King Jack 8 probably already. Yeah. With the Jack 10, it's just going to be a fist pump call. It's actually a little bit of raising going on. Fist pump call if you're suited to the Ace. Or triple suited, I think. Yeah. They're starting to mix here already as well. But I think calling is still alright if you're triple suited, as long as you're also suited to the Ace. So that one is fine, but again, it is right at the edge. Only the very strongest of these categories. The King to the Queen. The Queen Jack 10. If we're not, again, we're not double suited here. No. No. Interesting. I would have been entirely shocked if that would have been true, but we're even laying down a lot of these, i.e. the ones that are not suited to the ace. All the ones suited to the ace get called. If you start to be triple suited, you still call it high frequencies. Let's go a little bit lower, 70, 50. Yeah, once we start not being suited to the ace, there's still some calling going on, but that's where the solver starts to draw the line. Okay. This one, I would have probably called up until now. I have a feeling this is going to be... No, holy shit, this is going to be a call. The Jack 10 combo. That Jack 10 combo, I assume. Let's go with King Queen 10 8 maybe to make it a little bit stronger. Nope. Why am I not showing up with this hand? That's weird. We're not even opening that with a button? That can't be right. To 9. Yeah, it's a Jack 10 combo that makes this one a call. 3 Broadways into Jack 10. Solver loves the Jack 10, becomes evident every single time. This one we need to fold, we're not suited to the ace. This one, I'll leave it up for a moment. Put your answer in the chat if you want. But I have a feeling how it's gonna go. Alien. Can I do anything to make it less confusing? Is it me? Is it something I'm doing? Or is it like the results, just what you're seeing on the screen that is confusing you? Maybe would fold. Yeah, I'm starting to agree. Yeah, right. It has to be from what we've seen. 100%. Jack 10-8 combo, not suited to the ace. Nope. Wanna be suited to the ace here. I mean, the Jack 10 combo is nice, but we're still gonna be in here with a lot of... if we hit flops, we continue. We're gonna flush draws sometimes, we're gonna have backdoor flush draws, and we just want it to be higher. Let's be suited to the ace, yeah? Yeah. There's the long and the short of it. Again, we're in a three-way spot here. We raise the button, the small blind. We open the button, the small blind. 3-bets, the big blind cold calls, and now it's to us closing the action. So also something to keep in mind. We have the widest opening range that is possible in PLO, opening the button. And I think the small blind now has the widest 3-betting range that is possible in PLO free pre-flop. The results you're doing. I am happy to hear that, because sometimes I have moments here where I'm sitting, oh god, this is not useful to anyone. So I appreciate you saying that. I have those pretty much at every study stream. I go like, really? This can't be interesting to you guys. So thank you. Wasn't fishing. Ace King Queen needs to be a fold. Holy shit, man, this is gonna save me a ton of money. I would have called all of these too broad, like this, and this one with a 5. No. Yeah, just a fold. I'd be sitting there, I have an ace, I have a king, I have a... This is what I've said at runtime all these months, more for more than a year. Yeah, I have a nice high suit, I block kings, whatever. Some connectivity, I'm gonna call. No, I'm not anymore. Yeah, this is gonna be a fold as well. A little bit of mixing going on, let's ignore that just completely. The 7-6-5 is gonna have to be a fold as well. If you have the 5-4-3, it's gonna be a... Oh no, why is this one getting called? Now I'm getting confused as well. Ziggy! Thank you very much for the follow, appreciate that. I have no words for this one. So far, all of these medium high cards with connectivity, like 3-card rundowns, get folded. If they're like somewhere between 5 and 10. Why we are calling this one right now, it might be just because of the spot. Because of the widest rate, the wide range is involved. 876. Let's check that out. Good question. Excellent question. Is 876. Let's go with mostly, yeah. Let's just go with just folded. Also a horrible song. Well, I'm gonna purge the playlist of those. You know what? Honestly, I would ignore. I'm going to ignore this because this is just completely outside of the pattern that we've established so far, and it might well be a piece of solver voodoo here. 987. Let's go with that. On the surface, even you know, a stronger looking hand, but easily dominated by double suited rundowns, which are going to be a large part of our opponent's squeezing range. So seemingly this is a better hand, right? But it's just the solver doesn't play this one. And let's go with the 654. Here we start to call 6 high rundown, and the 543 is going to be called at a much higher frequency. Worry, includes more like the Jack 10 and 8, 10 and 8. Let's see. Yeah. You want to be single suited, or if you're triple suited, that is still fine. You want to be triple suited to the high card. No, also that's not. Also, some of these get called at a very high frequency. No caps call. I'm not sure what that means, Alien. No caps equals call. Not sure what that means. Because this is really... It is, yeah. It is. Jack 10 equals to 5-4. Not quite, I'd say. Not quite. But I think I know what you mean. That the solver tends to treat those a little bit similar. I think it's the domination issue that mostly plays into that. Why the 5-4, ace 5-4-3 gets called. Let's maybe ignore the rundown hands for today and go with like the Broadway hands and the ace high hands. Because otherwise it'll be too much. It'll get way too confusing, I feel. But let me, before I click the next button, let me actually take a note of that and maybe have that for one of the next streams. Let's go with single suited wraps, pre versus 3 bets, multi-way, and heads up. Note taken. We'll look into that at a future point. Who suggested that those hands? Vari. Yeah. Let's check that out in a future stream, and stick to these hand categories for now. And for me, I'm gonna ignore this. I'm gonna fold this. And for me, I'm gonna keep in mind the 5-4-3 I get to call, and that's it. With these 3 card rundowns on the side. Of the non-Broadway variety, because this is throwing wrench in my gears as well. So I'm gonna be fold. This is gonna be a call. Gonna have to be a fold as well. Put your vote in the chat, maybe if you just joined. You might not have seen the pattern yet, and tell me if you would fold or if you would call. Quit putting things like this in the chat when I drink tea. I'm gonna need a splash guard, Elian. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Well, you've had your chance to put it in, but hopefully you had a chance to at least make up your mind. Dum Dum Baby going with the fold. Only play aces. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, has to be a fold. Shit, man, I would have called all of these. This with the 10-7 is going to be a fold as well. Otherwise, I'm going to be just ending the stream right here. Going to be a fold as well. Going to be a fold as well. Jack 10-8 triple suited has to be a fold as well, probably. Yep. Yes, Jack 10-8. We've seen that one. This one, I believe, is a call, the Jack 10-8 combo. We've had actually that pretty much exact same hand. Yep. Well, I just said it, but I'll give you a moment to put your answer in the chat. Would you call? Would you fold? Kind of hammering the point home, I guess. Perfect answer. That's a perfect answer, Elliot. I like the second part. Not only we snap call and we are happy in it. We're happy about having learned that this is. I'm not patronizing. I'm genuinely happy that I learned that this is a call, and all the other ones we just ignore. That was a call. Exactly. This one we get to fold. This one we get to fold. No, we don't get to fold. We have to fold it. I would have called so many of these. Maybe not the ones that are not suited to the ace. They're at the line already. For the most part. But yeah, man. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of the same results, but as I said, I'm doing these sessions also in big part for me, and I'm really trying to hammer the point home into my brain. So, yeah. This one, we get to call. This one, we need to fold. Again, what if I always called this, man? Always. We've called this as well. If it gives us the call here. See, now it gives us the fold. So there was some solver voodoo going on. It has like one specific combination of suits where the solver goes like, okay, this I'm calling. All the other suit variations of the exact same hand I'm folding. Let's actually check that out. We could have done that earlier. Click that button. Yeah, check that out. Suited to the ace, perfectly seeing a suited. 99% fold. Go back up. Suited to the ace. 98% call. So solve a voodoo, for sure. So personally, ignoring this. Gotta go with the 5-4-3 and that's it. Do we have another one down there? I doubt it, but let's, for completeness sake, let's check. Ace 5-4 deuce first, I guess. Nope. The 3, well, we know that. 4-3 deuce, I doubt it. Nope. Okay, cool. So basically it comes down to 4 Broadway cards, to some combinations with 3 Broadways and that include a Jack 10. But we don't want to move too far away from the 10 with the 4th card. It needs to be a 9 or an 8 specifically. Triple suited, fold almost all of them, except if we have 4 Broadways. There's still some mixing going on, but personally I'm just going to keep calling if I have 4 Broadways, even if they're triple suited. Alright, let's keep the same spot to really hammer the point home and go back to... I want to do one other... let's go back to tighter ranges involved. I want to do one last thing. Basically just confirming something I said earlier in the stream. And that is that these are indeed the loosest ranges involved. And that the small blind has the loosest 3-betting range here. I think that is... if up against the button open, I think that is the case, but I want to make doubly sure. So we're going to keep everything the same. Let's go with the tightest... what is, I believe, supposed to be the tightest 3-betting range, right? Which would be his here. Let's see. Download this really quick. And check out what the 3-betting frequency is going to be here. Yeah, no filters are applied. So versus another gonna open the what's it? The MP has a 3-betting frequency of 5.2%. All right, now if you just see how to change this. This is something you can easily get on any chart, but I just want to see for myself, basically. Hang on, no, let's go back. Download this one really quick, and then we're gonna compare this to what I would assume would be the loosest 3-betting range in PLO. This should go up a little bit, not much probably. Yeah, there, stays the same, okay? So that is that. Root, U-fold. Oh, so I have to move the mouse over. We raise, and now this guy, I believe, should have the... yeah, let's check that. He should have the widest 3-betting range, I believe. Because we don't want to do a lot of calling the small blind. Should be like 13% something? No, okay, 10%. It was 30% too high in my estimate. Okay, just want to make doubly sure that this is indeed the widest range we can be up against here. See, I could imagine this scenario also being relatively wide, but probably not as wide as the small blind would be my assumption. No, okay, yeah, actually that's true. Cool. And now so we've hammered the point home what to do. The previous spot was button the small blind. We open the button, the small blind raises, the big blind cold call, so we're in a multi-bet spot and we get to close the action and have the widest ranges involved, right? And we still need to be very tight with our calling. As you know, if we select these buckets, if we have 2 Broadways, 3 Broadways that are singles through the rainbow, or 1 Broadway and a 3-card rundown were the selected buckets, the very weakest of our hands with Broadway cards involved. So let's now go back to the tightest ranges, i.e. have us be in the big blind, sorry, under the gun, have this guy raise and make it multi-bay, have a caller here. And now it's up to us again. We're not closing the action yet. We're not going to be in position. Hang on. Hang on, I need to check something. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, let's go back to that spot then. Raise, if this guy raise, if this guy cold call. And let's see how that changes things. Now I'm confused. Why is this range wide? I don't know. Did I make a mistake here? 6 players. Sorry, this might be boring to you, but now I'm confused. I need to check these numbers. So now we're supposed to, if you're not closing the action, we're going to be out of position. We're supposed to call 13.5% from these selected buckets. Is that right? Just need to compare this to the other spot we've had set up. Sorry about that. Maybe I misremembered the numbers. If this guy raise, this guy call, and then download and filter. So 13.5 was the old number up there. Okay, okay, good. I was confused. I had the wrong number memorized here. Okay. Do we have a King 9/8 in here now? Because that's what threw me off when I changed the spot, that suddenly the King 9/8 showed up there. We have this one if it's not double suited. We didn't come across that one right now, did we? Ah, okay. So with the King 9/8/7, we get to call. Honestly, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna ignore that hand entirely. It's only this one hand. Let's see if there are variations of this. If you're basically if you're ignoring a large category of hands here. This might be a note to take for just for future reference. Check this out with the king and the 3-card rundown. I'm gonna ignore this for now because I'm getting confused and I don't think this is gonna be helpful for today. But I will take a note of it. Check out king plus card rundown. Singer suited. Pre. Okay. Yeah, moving on. Let's ignore that for today and go back to the wider to the tightest ranges and see what changes there, and then with that conclude the session before we get utterly confused. But I already, besides all the confusion, for me personally, the takeaway is that I overcalled way too much with these 3-card, 2-card Broadway hands. Okay, this guy call. And now it's up to us. And we're gonna filter and go through a few hands and see what changes, if anything. I mean, yeah, previously we got to call like 38%. This is like almost, this is a third of that basically. Check out a few hands. All right, if all of these were a fold earlier versus wider ranges, this needs to be okay, let's ignore this one. This is gonna be the one with the suit variations again. This specific hand that fucked us over earlier as well. Yeah, let's ignore the specific hand as well. Triple suited with 4 Broadways. No matter what the solver does here, I would call it. It is still profitable. So here I'm gonna go against the solver basically for now, until I find a good reason not to. But that's just me. Feel free to, you know, do whatever you do. This needs to be a fold. This needs to be called. Check out the suit variations for this one. Now shit gets confusing. Do we fold perfectly single suited ones here? No, not at the high. Oh. Maybe we'd have to. Maybe we should end it here. What do you guys say? And like divide it up into different streams so we don't leave this one utterly confused. So I don't leave this one utterly confused. Let's actually not. Hang on. Let's check out some things here. maybe I could imagine it that it is because slightly different ranges are involved. We're up against a rep that dominates us with these middling 3/4 rundowns quite a bit. We should be up against that type of hand a little less often. Or quite a bit less often. Like the MP, if the MP 3-bets the under the gun, he's gonna have a lot more aces. He's gonna have very decent kings, double suited Broadway, full card Broadway hands, stuff like that. And maybe we now fare better against that range with that part of our range. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah. So, holy shit. Color me confused, but I think that might be it. Hang on, I need to make doubly. I need to open a second instance of this and make doubly sure that we didn't screw anything up there before. So a previous situation was fold. Raise, call, and back to us. You can tell by me being at a loss for words that I'm now utterly confused. I think, honestly, it's a strange way to end the stream, but we might just want to end it here, because otherwise I'm gonna leave this session worse off than I was before, basically, and I kind of like the takeaways we've had so far. Might be something I want to look into again and make... Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna end the stream here, because I'm clearly getting confused and I don't want to figure this out with you watching and boring you. So what I'll do is I'm gonna keep, for me personally, I'm gonna keep the takeaways we've had. That a lot of the like ace king 5-4 single suited hands just gonna be folds, and hands that a lot of hands that I used to call with, I'm not gonna call with anymore, and save myself a good chunk of change probably from now on. And before the next study stream next week, I'll dive a little bit more into this with the 3-card rundowns and a Broadway hand on the side, like an ace 9, 8, 7, in various spot up versus various ranges, and see what my takeaway is, and hopefully can clear up some confusion that I no doubt knows now created in the next stream. Yeah, I think that's what, frankly, that's what suits me the best. So sorry for making this a little bit more confusing than it used to be 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I think that's a good approach. Because right now I would have to figure it out at runtime, and there would be a lot of talking out of my ass, and that would no doubt not help clearing things up. Okay, I hope you still found it valuable. I certainly did. As I just said, my takeaway is that I overcalled a shit ton of hands that I'm not going to be calling anymore. And that is the long and the short of it for me. I'm glad you had fun, Ellie, and that. I apologize for the last 10 minutes, if those weren't all that helpful. Hey, Kvodi is online. Hey, I haven't seen him stream in a while. Let's check him out. I like Kvodi. I don't know why. He's a good bloke. I liked him for the first time I saw him. He streams mixed games, so there might be some PLO happening there as well. Yeah, let's see what he's up to. I'll be back later on tonight, most likely. Yeah, I think so. And with that, I'm gonna call it a session, have some dinner, and see you later tonight, if you want.
There's always next time on that.
All right. Oh, I didn't realize I had audio on here. Okay. See you soon. Tonight gonna be another PLO cash game and probably tournament stream. Tomorrow we're gonna have the home games. Saturday I'm not gonna be here. Sunday the birthday stream with the giveaways, all that stuff. You heard about it by now. And then next week more study streams. This will have been the last one for this week. And next week we're gonna pick up where we left off, and I'll hopefully be able to clear up some confusion here. Alrighty. Until then, have a good one.